Alright, ladies and gentlemen, got a brand new series debuting tonight. Welcome to Arc V8 Supercars, here on now deceased Project Cars 2, but despite the game's delisting and all of that stuff, doesn't stop us from having a nearly full grid tonight. 15 cars ready to take on the Daytona road course for this opening round of the season. We have just started qualifying. We literally join us as the first lap of the session begins as the 47 car of Jason Jester. Yeah, I think that's his name. Was the first person to get a lap underway. He's very squirrely through that second hairpin there. I don't know how many races this guy's done. I don't think he's done too many up to this point, though. As Jason heads up to the bus stop, I expect to see quite an interesting race here, both because it's a very new car. Most people don't have a lot of experience in this machine. It's also not the easiest one to drive, so we may see a lot of incidents of these cars getting away from people. And the first lap of the session is going to be a 40.48. That's already way faster than I was hearing in practice earlier, so Jason Jester has come to play, to say the least. Jen Torres with a 40.9. Carter Ritchie with a 41.0. Fidel Fabian with a 43.9. I think this is the, this would be the ARC debut for Wade Lee. He's running in the, the 2 car, Dose. Dylan Baum goes up the board with a 40.7, not quite pole, though. I don't like the rotating views. Just stay on one or the other. I'll not be doing track guides because the way that these cars handle is very foreign to me. You know, the absolute limit through the bus stop, he's 7/10 up, so he was looking at almost into the 40s here as Carter Ritchie, no, that's MRT. This is Tim Galvin tops the sheets with a 40.2. Makes sense, the reigning champion of LMP3 also seems to have some decent pace going here. But Dylan Baum isn't to be outdone. He just ran a 39.9. I didn't think we'd be breaking out of the 40s today, but here we are. There's some immense speed. And here I thought we were just going to be looking at a 41, like a 41.2 for pole. I think AJ's trying to get his tires warm or something. Matthew Stotts has left the racing surface and just retires to the pit lane for the moment. Oh, Billy Targi finds a big curb and is lucky to just keep that from smacking a barrier. One of the big key differences between qualifying in this game versus qualifying on the F1 game is tire wear is not nearly as stringent, so you can make multiple laps on the same set of tires, or for that matter, multiple consecutive laps in a qualifying session. Just keep throwing lap times at it until you qualify as best as you can. Whereas F1, you do the one lap, your tires are shot, and you're probably out of fuel. So you gotta go back into the pits and, rinse and repeat until the end of the session. So you only get maybe 3 attempts. Here, we're getting like 6. As Jason Jester further ups the ante, he runs a 39.72. And Dylan Baum is not on the racetrack, so if anybody can take that away from him, it's not going to be Dylan. But it may very well be Tim Galvin, it could also be Jan Torres, and you could never count out AJ Kinnickle. He's won too many races to say that he doesn't have a chance. Jan Torres has encountered traffic, but if it hasn't slowed him down too much, he might have a pretty decent advantage down the back straight, which comes the front. The straight. No, he's backing off, but that's going to end his lap time because he's not going to come up to the line at top speed. But meanwhile, Torres' teammate is heading into NASCAR 2 on a lap. I don't know if it's actually faster. We'll find out after the bus stop. Carter Ritchie improves to a 41.9. There's a very obvious skill gap in between 4th and 5th, though. As does his teammate Billy Targi, so solid qualifying from FBR. See what Tim Galvin can manage as he heads up towards the finish line. Can he also make a 39? No, it's a 41. It's a 40.1. So no significant improvement. AJ reaches a 41.5. He sort of bridges the gap a little bit between 4th and the rest of the field. Is Richie on a lap? I think he is. I don't think the cooldown lap guy would be going this fast. Everybody's down quite a lot, so yep, that's cooldown. Wade Lee's coming up to the line. We'll see what he can run for his debut qualifying session. Well, he improves, but not enough. And there is the qualifying session over. So, Jason Jester is the pole sitter. Do not press that button, Raker. For the love of God. Followed by Dylan Baum. The two teammates of Tim Galvin and Jan Torres make up the second row. Followed by AJ Kinnickle, Billy Targi, who's not teammates with Carter Ritchie like I thought he was. Those cars aren't similar at all. Or they are. Oh, their colors are inverted. Okay, that makes sense. And we have Matthew Stotts, Fidel Fabian. They look like their cars are team cars, but they're not. Luke Allen starts 10th, followed by Connor Hannock. Wade Lee, who's in the exact same car as Carter Ritchie is. Something Sanders, Hoodcat, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, and then rounding out the field is Dylan Thomas. I'm going to, I think it's Zach Saunders. And this is also a sprint format, I've just been reminded. This is a sprint format event, much in the way we were doing with ARC GT3. Not that people who weren't in the races would know. This first race is a quick 8-lap sprint. The second race is 16 laps, but the top 8 are reversed. So it's like the F2 format. As here we are heading up to the line, and V8 Supercars are go. The green flag is away, and it looks like I'm seeing potentially 3 wide back here. That camera's not helping. I cannot see a darned thing. No obvious destruction heading out of the first sector here. Or first couple turns. Oh, there's the first spin. Billy Targi too quick on the accelerator. At the very least, manages not to collect anyone else. That's, I guess, a crucial element, because that means his car won't be any damaged. Ija Knickel is also off on a safari expedition, somewhere in between International Hairpin and the Kink, I think. Yeah. So they must have floored it in the exact same place in the exact same way, and messed it up in the exact same way. Luke Allen's had the start of a lifetime. He's gone from P10 to P5, and we haven't even done a full lap yet. Zach Saunders is also in kind of the same boat. I think he's up actually more positions than Luke Allen is. And Connor Hannock, too. There's been quite a paradigm shift as a bit of understeer for Hannock, a bit of oversteer for Luke Allen. Yeah, these cars don't like their drivers very much. You are definitely at their own mercy when it comes to cornering. The top speeds of these cars are all exactly the same, so time or overtakes will have to be made through cornering and like braking, because nobody's gonna get much over 180 miles per hour in this race, or about 290 k's for the Europeans, because there are through here Europeans and or Canadians. You kind of got like couples racing at the moment. Ending with Saunders, we kind of have 2 car battles going on up and down most of the field. As now Saunders is kind of catching 7th and 8th place cars. But we have Dylan Baum versus Jason Jester. We have the battle between teammates of Jan Torres and Tim Galvin for 3rd. Connor Hannock and Luke Allen are not too far apart. And then we have this 3-way battle, kind of, between Fidel Fabian, Matthew Stotts, and Zach Saunders. I don't know why he's red. Is it because he has a penalty, maybe? The bomb is right there, but they're both going to be topping out any second now. Yeah, they're both maxed out at 182 here. Slipstream won't do you much good if you're already buzzing the limiter. Stotts, Fabian, and Saunders are actually catching up to the battle for 5th. So soon enough we're just going to have like a 5-car train being led by Luke Allen. And by soon enough I mean Matthew Stotts is going to go for P6 right here. Tries to shoot to the outside of Hannick in the International Horseshoe. And Hannick had some snap on exit, so Stotts will, by all counts, complete the move. And soon enough he'll be looking for P5 while he's at it. Oh, it's fine, AJ. We didn't need those cones. This Wade Lee is all the way off the track in the second hairpin. And bomb is so close you can all but taste it, but both the cars are going to top out any second, and his ability to catch is just going to stall. He's going to be able to basically read his license plate if these cars had one, but they're both at 182, so... Matthew Stotts continues to hunt down the bright green machine of Luke Allen. Now he's gonna go for it right here. I think Luke Allen just gave him a bunch of space. I'm just like, nah, knock yourself out, buddy. I'm going for what's guaranteed. As we had apparently Zach Saunders has passed Fidel Fabian. I didn't see that because I was busy watching Stotts versus Allen. Two very different ways of taking the bus stop between Baum and Jester. It's resulted in a decent exit for Dylan, but he can't quite just snag any amount of slipstream and pull up, so he's just about too wide with him now. So they're going to be at a dead heat as we head towards the first corner, which could always be scary here at Daytona. Jester breaks a little bit later, just late enough to keep Dylan at bay. And you see Tim Galvin in the distance stalking this lead battle. I should bring up the map. That would help. I forgot that that's a thing somehow. Luke Allen is currently hanging with Matthew Stotts. He's keeping him honest, at the very least. To head back into the bus stop, nose to tail for at least the 4th lap in a row. I think they've basically been this way since the green flag flew. But Dylan did not have the best exit from the bus stop, so inevitably so, he won't really have any shot of a pass here. And again, it bears repeating, as, man, he is close. But again, they're going to stall out right here. It bears repeating that this is indeed a... Oh, Fidel just got ahead of Zach Saunders, actually. Bears repeating, this is a sprint format. Oh, they nearly collide. That was close. Could cat had some slipstream on the exit of what I can only assume to be the last corner of the road section. So at the moment, if the race ended like this, Fidel Fabian would be the pole sitter for the main event, as the top 8 are flipped, same as the F2 format. As much as I never liked that format, or anything that involves multiple races, it's not as bad when it comes to commentating a race. It forces a race restart, so... Who was they? Who was they? Yep, who are they with? I saw another car there. Unless I was just seeing Fidel's off-screen weird. It is absolutely race critical that AJ can somehow drag himself up to this battle for P7. Where is the cursor? There it is. Just trying to find chase cam. As well, you know, finishing 8th here means you start on pole. Finishing 9th means you start 9th. So AJ absolutely needs to make one pass up there. As somewhere along the way, Luke Allen got back ahead of Stotts. I missed that one. But that's not the best run for Luke through the kinks, so Stotts might try and take it back. But Luke places his car defensively, and Stotts is powerless to defeat him into the second hairpin. Or third. And if I'm Fidel, honestly, like, the chance of scoring 2 points is not worth the chance of scoring none at all. I would just sit here right behind Zach Saunders and exist and keep AJ away from the top 8 if at all possible. About a lap and change to go. Dylan Baum must have made a mistake somewhere, as he's now nowhere even close to Jason Jester. Stotts was so much more brave under the brakes there, and that's actually just netted him the place, full stop. No, wait, that's Fidel. That's wrong blue car. Fidel Fabian was way more brazen under the brakes, and that's gained him P7 against Zach Saunders. And, well, now if he's made the pass, it puts him at a lot less of a risk. Because, well, now AJ would have to get around, Saunders first. As these two are in fact teammates, 7 and 8. as the leader Jason Jester makes his way out of NASCAR 4. It's been largely uncontested from green flag to checkered, as he's going to win the first half here at the season opener of V8 Supercars. Oh, never mind, he's not. He had a penalty, apparently. So, Dylan Baum is actually going to be the winner of... That's probably why he didn't ever go to pass him, because he was going to get him on a penalty. And Tim Galvin will be the driver that stays with him on the podium. And Zach Saunders is going to come through. He's going to be the one that finishes 8th, which is only 1 point, but it's pole for the feature race. Which admittedly is probably a heck of a lot more meaningful than the 1 point you get from the sprint. There was a battle for 9th going on in the, or 10th going on in the back. Wade Lee hangs on to that. And we seem to have a parking lot outside of T1. And finally, and here comes Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who had a race to forget up to this point, thus ending the session. That's a nice pit wall. See, somewhere along the way, Jason Jester picked up a 2-second time penalty. So he will not, well, he won't be the race winner, obviously. Am I supposed to be commentating during this? Like, I don't quite know what I'm supposed to be saying when we're just sitting in the what's it called? The lobby screen. So, well, don't be fooled. The race isn't starting quite yet. As they're gonna take a formation lap to, like, what's it called? They're gonna take a formation lap to, well, properly line up the field because there's no grid editor in this game. So. And this was still in the screen because everyone's setting pit strategies. I can only assume there's like a mandatory pit stop. I should probably check the rules on that because that's all in the Discord. I was like, oh, I don't have to look at it because I'm not a driver. Oh my word. Drig's like, I'm just getting out of here. So I think after what I just saw there, I don't know who did that, but we're going to need a, we're going to need another lap to pit for the damage that those two cars just got. Yes. Race 2 has a mandatory 4-tire stop, so they have to change tires. Not necessarily change compounds, but change tires. We are apparently leaving for some reason. Probably because of them hitting each other, if I had to guess. Alright. Always complications, especially on this game. It's not always smooth as F1 goes. Hmm. Readjusted my seat. Oh, goodness. Oops. Microphone's a lot more sensitive to the way the cord's oriented. If I don't have it positioned right, I will deafen the viewer base with my static attack. So we're having to do the formation lap as previously stated, so I'm just going to focus on who will later be the pole sitter, which is not Connor Hannock. I read the initials wrong. It should be Zach Saunders, I think. Yeah. Okay, these buttons just don't do anything? What? Okay. You got a hot date there, Fabian. Where are you going? Get back here. Definitely the places to look will be sort of this mid to like lower midfield area, or upper midfield I should say. Keep an eye on like basically 5th on down. See how they make their way through the field. Well, 5th through like 10th. As I see Whately is now in, well, at least an unused car. I don't know if it's actually his car, but it's not one already being driven by somebody else at least. If that one gets single file again to go through the bus stop, and then we'll actually line up out of it. Eventually I'll stop stretching. As everyone's definitely lined up now, I don't know why we're not doing 60 miles an hour. And everyone's lined up, and soon it will be time to go green flag racing. And he has backed everyone all the way up. We are green. Zach Saunders has just left everybody asleep there. Or he just didn't hold it. Well, he held his speed, but Matthew Stotts is not fooled. And he just shoots like a bullet to the outside. Ooh, he catches a lot of curb, though. And he's lucky not to be out of the race with that. He said he's going to go back down the inside. Round 2, says Matthew Stotts. And we have another new leader already. Jan Torres got a pretty decent start as well, so he's going to be also looking to take that away. But caught on the outside of that kink is just about a death sentence in these kind of cars. With 3 wide in the second hairpin, Zach Saunders has already lost a heck of a lot of ground. And suddenly Jason Jester's already running P3. Oh, he's running also right into the door of Jan Torres. Oh, this thing, there we go. Dylan Baum looking for a move on Fabian. He just breaks away later. It's that simple. No, he just takes the back of Luke, and that creates a domino effect that Dylan is lucky to have. Oh, he's not recovered from that. Never mind, he's going straight to the inside wall. That is unfortunate for race 1's winner, potentially just straight up out of contention here in round 2. Following just a standard domino effect. Luke maybe didn't get the greatest exit from the bus stop. Oh, never mind, we might have an incident. Oh boy. There's been absolute bedlam going into T1. I couldn't really tell exactly what happened. All I know is Zach Saunders' car was not facing them the right way. Well, looks like we're still at full speed, and Jason Jester takes the lead. Alright, I am Dr. Seuss now. And with Dylan Baum out of the picture, courtesy of lap 1, I think he's just about home free so long as he makes no major mistakes. Jan Torres is kinda there. He will have to get ahead of Matthew Stotts first, though. Galvin 2 wide with Luke Allen heading through NASCAR 2. I think he's just going to be able to kind of out-drag the green machine, and he will take P5 away. You have two teammates too wide now through NASCAR 4 as Billy Targi pulls ahead of his teammate. Well, Jason Jester isn't quite making good on his escape plan just yet. Stotts and Torres are still in range. Well, in range-ish. Targi is off after his next victim. He's chasing down Luke Allen to try and grab 6th place from him. No such opportunities yet. Jen Torres finally clears Matthew Stotts. I kind of missed that like an idiot. So now the former is able to try and at least stick with Jason Jester, who's now dragged himself up to a 2-second lead. Oh, never mind, he's not clear as Matthew Stotts gets back ahead through turn 1 through, but maybe kind of sort of looked like not the cleanest work, but and there's always a little bit of space for bumpers and doors being used in V8 supercars, so I'm not sure if the stewarding team is supposed to look at it that way or not, but I'll find out later, I'm sure. And not a great hairpin though. Let's put Torres right back there. Further back we have 3 cars under a blanket. Oh, Carter Ritchie was almost out of control there. Torres looked for a potential move, but he didn't find anything. He'll continue to wait as the bus stop nearly gets the better of his tire's grip there. And he has an almighty run on Matthew Stotts here. He goes high because, well, Stotts isn't giving him a choice. Never mind, they are pitting in. Nope, you did not make that in time. That's a speeding penalty. And they're going to try for the undercut against Jester, but I don't think a speeding penalty is going to help that cause. Fidel Fabian is also making his pit stop at the same time. Probably trying to pit out of that giant train of cars he was in. Billy Targi is just all over Luke Allen's rear wing at the moment. He's changing up his line. He's trying to find any sort of weakness against Luke Allen. He might have just spotted something there. But he got a little bit squirrely on exit, so he couldn't take advantage. Richie's still with the pair of them, too. So this is basically like a 5-car train that Luke Allen is holding up. And Billy's taken to the apron to try and get a line against him here. They head into the bus stop, probably 2. Oh yeah, they're 2. Ooh! Walking a tightrope, Billy Targi finally claims that position. And see if his teammate in the 2 car can follow him through. Looking possible as Billy's about to box Luke Allen in. Or not, they're just gonna... Well, Luke almost went 3 wide, but Carter Ritchie's just gonna get them both, in fact. Yeah, it's such a run on both of them that even Billy couldn't keep him behind. Now teammates would be 2 wide into turn 1. These cars just always look sketchy. I don't know why. They just look weird in the broadcast. They always just look like they're just an inch away from just deciding, you know what, I'm gonna die. As I almost thought the 2 teammates were about to just turn each other right there. That would have been astronomically not good. By no means does that mean that Luke is out of this battle, though. Until further notice, Luke Allen's actually in the best place. If these 2 keep fighting or make a mistake, he will be right there. And I think I almost just saw a mistake from Billy there as he had to catch the car heading onto the oval. Teammates continue to go at it. I think Carter Ritchie's just backing out of this one. But he can't back out too far because Luke is taking advantage of that situation. But not well enough. Is this some sort of obscure trust building ritual between the FBR cars? This is certainly no kind of team building exercise I've ever heard of. The sun is now setting, and Luke Allen and Billy Targi are making pit stops. Luke Allen actually making an overtake into the pit lane with expertly spotted braking points on the way in. So now attention really doesn't have anywhere to look. There isn't really much of any battles going on anywhere on the racetrack at this moment. The little exclamation marks are there to tell me who is near another car, but really the only place to look is right there as Matthew Stott just absolutely dies through the bus stop. Probably hooked a curb or on the gas too much. Now that thing has seen some better days. He was running net P3 before his pit stop. Suddenly he finds himself, well, not third. That's for sure. You might have to make another pit stop for the damage he just sustained. Or he'll just leave. That seems about right. Now, Fidel Fabian has found some action. He's just caught Jonathan Jerkensmeyer absolutely asleep at the wheel. And his next target will be Jonathan's teammate, Luke Allen, if he can manage to find a way by. Oh, word. With oversteer like that, he won't find much of anything other than the grass. Carter is in the pits, as is Connor Hannock. The lead 3 have still not pit. Oh, there's action. Oh boy. Luke Allen continues to be under threat, now from Connor Hannick, who is just pit in, and has now rejoined the circuit just behind him on pit cycles. Fidel Fabian is also still in the mix for sure. This is just a battle for 7th. It's also basically the only battle happening on the track at all. Oh, that's bad. The leader has thrown it away, backed it straight into the wall, and that's a lot of suspension damage, I can just tell. This car is battered. Oh my word. Did it have something to do with this lapped car? Because it looks like he's kind of driving a little bit weird too. Or is this a safety car? No, because Tim Galvin's not slow, so... Yeah, Wade Lee just has a bunch of damage. As does, obviously, Jason Jester. We saw the aftermath of that, but we obviously have no way of seeing what caused it. Well, I suppose stewarding Riker will know if there's a connection, but commentator Riker is in the dark. That's not good. Yeah, I don't think Jason made that pit speed either. So just to compound his misery, he's also, I think, about to get a speeding penalty for that. So now it is time to see how has the field finally panned out, as I believe every driver has made their pit stop, except for apparently Zach Saunders. So Tim Galvin will be the first to exit the pits of the lead group. And with that, Jan Torres is now the race leader. It's a decent ways clear of his teammate as well, that is also his teammate, which is also relatively crucial information. AJ exits in 3rd. And my word, Jason Jester must have about 70 years worth of damage to fix on that car. And you got Connor Hannick versus Luke Allen still. This battle has not ended. Even after pit cycles, still the only battle on the racetrack between these two. Luke Allen has just been the epicenter of this race, to say the least. Oh man, Hannick is just all out of control there. He's manages to save the car, however, at least. Jason Jester, ignore the visual damage, it just doesn't sync back up after fixing it. Rejoins the track 12th. He's going to have a handful of laps to see if he can recover anything from this. And points are up here where Dylan is. So the two winners, as it were, first and second of race 1 and 2, or race... what? First and second of race 1 are both just fighting for table scraps. So they're both just trying to get into the top 10 in any way that they can manage. It'd be more interesting when we go to a track that doesn't have the cars topping out so easily. As we just saw Jurgensmeyer pulling off and letting everybody go. He is wheeling that thing through the bus stop. I don't really feel like you gotta drive that aggro there, Torres. You got a 5-second lead and it's over your teammate. I think you can maybe dial it back a little bit. Look, Allen's created space between him and Hannick as we headed back into the bus stop. There's no space, though, between Dylan and Fidel, as Dylan moves into 9th position with that. Fidel kind of looked like he wanted to try and take it back, but he's instead going to take some grass. A lot of grass. Dylan Thomas basically just lets it go. He probably just about realizes Dylan bombs a little bit out of his league. But I can clearly, it becomes clear that Hannick doesn't think so about Allen. He is back at his rear wings, trying to find any desperate way to claw his way into 5th place. And he might have just found the way on corner exit. Luke Allen got a little bit of a wiggle. But this is a difficult place to stay on the outside, and so Hannick will not do that. He will instead just follow as closely as humanly possible and continue to probe for weakness, in this case almost literal, as he just about ran Luke Allen through. How many times have I said Luke Allen in this event? It's been at least a couple dozen. Dylan has his next target in the crosshairs. He's caught up to Billy Targi just about. He's put on a pretty solid salvage drive considering how quickly this race went. Wow, I can't speak. How quickly this race went downhill for the 37 car. I also just now realized I never closed my bathroom door, so the furnace is picking up. Billy is all out of whack through the bus stop. He is powerless to keep that 37 behind. What in the... Now, Dylan Thomas has missed the mark by quite a margin there. Can Fidel Fabian take advantage of the moment? He tries to sneak on the outside to do so. He'll cross over Dylan Thomas. Oh, they both get incredibly loose out of the International Horseshoe. And Dylan Thomas has just turned Fidel Fabian for that. Well, enjoy your free positions, Jason Jester, assuming you didn't get involved in that yourself, which it looks like you didn't. I know, it's kind of hard to tell. Your Ford is looking a little more like a Holden right now. Holding this L. Oh. The way that was progressing, I thought we were going to see Hannick just lose control under braking and smack into Allen, but he managed to keep the car under his control. Galvin is catching Torres, but it's not really that quickly. Not quickly enough, to say the least. He is pushing this thing. You just see by the car's body language, it is doing things it doesn't feel like doing. AJ Knickel is looking for a spot on the podium. He's gonna have to get through Carter Ritchie to take it, as Carter is just swerving for all he's worth to try and stave off the Canadian driver. But I don't really feel like he's done it properly. As well, I mean, AJ is still very much there. The sun is now officially going very much down. Why did I say that way? Carter continues to change lanes spastically. Looks kind of funny, to be honest. Behind them, you still have that battle for 5th. Connor Hannick and Luke Allen still conjoined on the racetrack. You also have a battle for a singular point between Saunders and Fidel. And Zach Saunders has taken that spot away on the front stretch, so some unusual stuff was at play there that just happened. Excuse me. Now, AJ is right there now. Well, the slipstream he might be alongside. Not that Carter's willing to give him any. But I don't think AJ particularly cares. Now, he can't get there. They're stalling out beforehand. But Carter's letting AJ to the inside. That was... Oh, my word. I don't know. No. I think I know what happened just there. That's, not pretty. Hennick is still at Allen's bumper. How how testy does he get over it, though? Oh, he is pushing it, clearly. As heading up to the start-finish line, it will be Jen Torres taking the feature race, just following just a cleaner race than other people had. As the lead cars got involved in incidents, Torres was the fastest one who didn't. And it's a 1-2 for his team as Tim Galvin comes across with him for a 1-2 finish. And provisionally, Carter Ritchie is going to be the one joining them on those podium steps. Remains to be seen if that will stay true, as we don't know what will be said about that incident into turn 1. Connor Hannick will be mugged at the last second by AJ, but Luke Allen will still finish 4th. And Dylan Baum, who's just absolutely destroyed himself, manages a semi-decent, actually both he and Jason Jester managed recovery drives to some extent. Considering both were running last at some point, and both of them end up in points. The final point of the race will go to Zach Saunders, finishing P10. There is a nice hood there. There we go. As the vehicular destruction concludes There's the final finishing order. No penalties in the second round. At least none that stood at the end of the race. Well, that was quite an opening debut. Oh, what? That was quite an opening race to debut ARC V8 Supercars. I never looked at the schedule for this, so like F1, I don't really know what the next track is, but rest assured I will be there to cover the action from wherever it may be.